Hello, welcome to another episode of Now You See Me, the show where we redefine beauty from the inside out. My name is Jeannette Jones, your host. Today we have a very, very special guest to me, my son has decided to join us today. Amen. Hey,
Good.
Ty.
Hi, Mom. Good morning, everyone.
Well, I invited him on because it wouldn't be a show, it wouldn't be a season, it wouldn't be anything unless he was a part of it with me. I know I shared a lot of my testimony in terms of growth I have experienced over the years. And when I was raising Tyler, I was a single mom raising my son, and I was raising him in my undelivered state. So naturally, in that state, some things were passed on that weren't necessarily the greatest. And so, as I got older, and more aware and looking back, and I was like, oh my goodness, I did this or I did that. And I went on a spell where I was apologizing and humbling myself and trying to make sure he was okay. And I think at some point it was also overkill and all of that. But I'm gonna let him talk. Ty, what do you remember most? What do you remember most about childhood? The good, the bad, and the ugly. You can be honest. This is an honest show. Be transparent.
Well, like any childhood, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. We had our tough times, we had our good times. There were times when I thought that we'd have a rocky future. There were times when there were times when I just didn't know if like we would see eye to eye. But as I grew, I believe we come to like see certain things from each other's point of view. And yep, now I get to call you like every now and then whenever we both get a chance because you live on the other side of the world.
I know.
And
I know.
I get to call you when I need advice. You talk to me, just call me to see how I'm doing. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I would think so in terms of the openness. The openness. I know there was a lot of things going on where I was dealing with who Jeanette was and didn't really understand. And so I see some things in the past that well, I have seen some things in the past that are, I don't know, not a part of your lives. And I just thank God for that. I remember I used to pray about, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want him because I had real low self-esteem at the time and didn't really like me. And I was like, Lord, I don't want him to be like me. So you're gonna have to help me. You're gonna have to be father to the fatherless. And I used to pray that all the time. And you are a kind person. You really, really are. You're really good with people. And
Okay.
and just an overall good kid. You're not a kid, but you're my kid. So,
I'm a kid at heart. Let's be honest.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, you are a kid at heart. And so, but even in that, just me looking more at the positive sides as opposed to any negative sides whatsoever. Because if there was anything wrong going on in your life, I used to think, oh, it was my fault. I shoulda. It was my fault. I coulda. And so, were those any of your thoughts as you were growing up at all? It's all her fault. And I know you go through all kids go through those stages, but what were your thoughts growing up along those lines?
Mm, Okay, if we were being transparent, like growing up, sometimes I feel like you just didn't see me. Like you probably saw an extension of yourself that wasn't exactly how you thought it would be or how it should be. Now, granted, there are times in my life where I'll admit that I should have had more, what's the word I'm looking for? I was unmotivated and unwilling to do some of the stuff that other kids were doing. Some that would have been benefit to me, others that probably would have just gotten me out of the house. I was more introverted and felt like, hey, the stuff that I watch on TV, the games that I play, they understood me more. And I was thinking, hey, why would I try to why would I try and possibly fail with real people when I could just stay inside? Now, granted, that was probably just me being a loner teen, but at the same time, that was also, I feel like with me personally, that was probably just me not trying.
Okay.
And
Ty, why are you looking in the sky?
th- it's why, it's how I think, Mom. I'm
Okay,
trying,
okay. I'm gonna leave you
remember,
alone.
this
Look
is,
in the sky. Okay, look in the sky. Go ahead.
remember, this is how I think. It's just
I'm
happening.
sorry. I'm sorry. I was just like, what's up there? But anyway, but no, I understand what you're saying. And it's so
And
strange that you said that I didn't see you. It's very difficult for me to see um you properly when I probably didn't see me properly or see myself the way God made me. So it's very difficult. I can easily see how you can see that I was aloof or I was kind of standoffish or something like that. And so it was a lot of the emotional thing that wasn't there. So I do remember, like I said, certain things that I'd see, I would just I don't know, just in the certain things that I would see from my healing position, my healed position. Yeah. I couldn't see you because I couldn't see me. Yeah.
yeah, that
Wow.
makes sense. Um, and plus, I'll be the first to admit I was lazy. There were times when I was pretty lazy. And and when I think about it, like there were times when I saw you working like extra hard, like doing all that stuff. Like you actually worked two jobs at one point to try to put yourself back through school. And sometimes the house wasn't clean when you got home and you got mad. Me being a teen back then, and I was like, this is just mom being mom. But now that I'm an adult and now that I'm actually a parent, I'm like, yeah, I can see how why she would get mad. And if my daughter was like that too, then yeah, I would get mad. But yeah, looking from like growing up and actually like experiencing some things, I can see like how you react, well, how you could react to some of the things that I'd done in the past in somewhat negative way.
Okay. Well, you said that back then you didn't think that I saw you. And I probably did not. I didn't see you until later. Or if I saw something, it was more, like I said, an extension of myself instead of seeing you as the individual person. So now, what do you think? Do I see you?
Honestly, yeah, way better than you used to. Like, sorry, that probably came out wrong.
No,
Um,
no, no, no. Say it like you're gonna say it. You never disrespectful anyway. It is very rare that you're gonna be disrespectful. So I know I did something right. Go
sometimes,
ahead.
yeah, but sometimes I can probably come off as disrespectful. I've been told that I sometimes let my mouth get away from my speak before I actually think. So I still have to work on that. That's one of the things I've learned growing up and being and somewhat being a loner. I'm still learning certain things about how to be like public etiquette and stuff like that, and like personal space. But yeah, you have seen me. You've seen my growth. You see sometimes stuff that I don't even see myself. So I'm like, yeah. And because of that, our relationship has grown better.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's really, really good. So, do you get an opportunity to share? your experiences with anybody. The reason that I'm asking is because on a platform like this, there's a lot of people listening and they probably can relate to what we're talking about. And if you were talking to someone in your position, let's say the 12 or 13-year-old you, what would you say to that person?
What I would, there are a lot of things I would say to my younger self. One, if you actually want to be strong, you got to get out of the house and start working out more. If you're going to
You
try to,
talking about physical strength? Okay, all right,
well, yeah, I was leading up to certain, the top, at least the top three, maybe. Like I
okay.
said, there's a lot of stuff that I would tell myself, my younger self, that I wish I could, but can't, we can't travel
Hmm.
back to time. But first, I would say if you're going to get strong, you actually have to, well, one, work out more. I didn't really know my body as well as I thought I did. I mean, I didn't really know that my flat footedness would be an issue until I got to the army. So I'm serious. Like, I didn't really think that that was a big issue. Like, people kept saying, like, oh, a lot of times, like, growing up, people kept saying, oh, you're flat footed. How come you don't have an arch? I'm like, is that really a big deal? I'm still running. But yeah, until I got to the army, like, when you run a lot and that could actually do some damage to your legs, yeah, that's one thing. Two, as you once told me before, you're gonna have to like steer away from okay, I was watching cartoons back then, a lot of them. So yeah, you can't be a kid forever. Like even though like it's simpler to be a kid and life is gonna suck, it's times, but you're just gonna have to like bear away, like try to get ahead of the game in some kind of way, because life will have a way of throwing a curveball or a few curveballs at you that you don't know how to handle yet. So yeah, um, sometimes like I start to learn more about like being empathetic and try to like think of stuff from other try to put myself in other people's shoes, like maybe what are they going through that I just can't see for right now. And yeah, those are the top three I can assume. And honestly, the main thing is just know my worth. Like, don't be egotistical about it, but at the same time, know that, yeah, just know that you're worth more than what some people are giving you. Because there are times where I just did not have any confidence in me not knowing the ways of people. I just thought that, hey, maybe this is just my lot in life and stuff like that, when that wasn't the case. That was just what I chose to have my lot.
Hmm. Wow. Know your worth, and that is awesome. That's an awesome revelation because I know I remember telling people about when I got over here to Germany. You came over here. You were over here with me for about 6 months, and then you went over to be in the service. And it's like my epiphany started when I came over, and your epiphany started when you actually started serving in military. And
Uh, yeah, uh, that's when I got the reality check. Like, one, I'm not like the as great as I was, and then I needed to train a lot because having people from all over the country, like some people from across the world, came in. Like, yeah, they
yeah,
were beating me
yeah.
in like a lot of fronts.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like,
Well, see, like I
yeah,
said, that was your epiphany. Then I had my epiphany on this end, and the fact that we were separated is like God wanted to work on you on that side, and wanted to work on me on this end, and it's like He brought us. together with a meeting of the minds with an understanding. And so, but yeah, though your exposure to other things made you level up, and the same thing for me and different dealing with different people and different cultures from different places. And so it's just awesome how the Lord chooses to 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 cause us to be, I guess, better, cause us to be delivered, cause us to get revelation, causes us just to start to see things more along the lines of how he sees us, how he sees us. So, in terms of you being a father to Gigi's baby, um,
Grandbaby.
okay, fine, fine, fine. You can be the baby. Um,
Thank you.
but how do you see the differences? What differences do you see in how you were reared by me versus what you're doing right now, in all honesty?
Well, I'll tell this to anybody who has not had kids. I mean, granted, some people take care of their siblings, their nephews, or anybody that's basically taking care of kids, basically someone who just sees people taking care of kids. Those things are totally different. Like, granted, I always loved kids. I always wanted to have a couple growing up. Um, and I thought I was always good with kids. I mean, I am good with kids, but when it's your own, like they're there 24/7. Like, it's rare that you can mess up. Like, they look at you, they look at everything that you do, whether it's the good, the bad, whether you are strong, whether you're weak. They see everything. So, as far as rearing me, like I can't remember. I don't have too many memories of my before I was like 10. I think the earliest memory I have is when we were at a church at a birthday party, and that's when I first realized I didn't like chocolate cake. But yes, I
That's
don't like chocolate cake for
that
anybody
didn't come
that's
from my
listening.
side of the family, but go ahead. All right.
Apparently, it didn't come from dad's side of the family either. So that's just one of those things that got put in like, hey,
All
you're
right.
not gonna like
All
chocolate
right.
cake
All right.
or a lot of
We'll let
chocolate in
you
general. But
go.
I am going off subject on that one.
Yeah.
Um,
I did that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
let's see. Like I said, it's completely different. Like it opens up your mind. Like this is part of you. Like this child is part of you. And I can honestly, when you said that there are things that you passed down to me when you were not fully delivered, like I can actually relate to that because like certain traits, like physical traits, some stuff about her personality that she's starting to exude like already. Like some of that stuff I thought that maybe that just came from either me or her mom. Like the personal, like the physical traits, of course, but some stuff is going to have to be learned, and it's not going to be like, oh, she's automatically going to be like you, like, or her mom, like right off the bat. So, and plus she's only 5. She's smart as all get out.
Well,
uh,
I mean, she is. You got to think about the fact that she's 6. I'm like, things take time, but yeah, she is a smart little thing. She is. But yeah, I sometimes you just got to be in the situation to know the situation, and so but I can see
exactly.
there's a patience with you. That's a really good patience, a lot of patience, because I'm a little bit more old school. But
Not a
I,
lot. I
I
have
see the
to.
way, huh?
Not a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there are times when I want to go old school, just like you and Dad did when I acted up. Like, I'm sorry, you said what now?
Yeah, but you're a lot more better. You're a lot better at that. the calming and the breathing a lot more than you giving yourself credit for. And so
Sometimes,
I'm paying attention to you and things like that. And so I think because you're that way, she's so just creative. She's extremely creative.
where people say it takes a village to raise a child, I'm like, yeah, this is one of those times where it takes a village to raise a child. And the fact that
Mhm.
also brings me back to the point where you may have been a single mom, but you also had like grandma helping out from time to time. You had auntie from time to time. Because I remember the time we came back from the mall and we had a sort of altercation about something that I bought. And because you were saying that I should have found like a teacher to help me with that instead of just buying it out and just like practicing myself, or maybe not being, I don't remember the exact words, but it was an altercation and it was one of your more verbal ones.
Okay, I don't remember this one, but okay.
It
Did
was when,
was the lesson learned? Was the lesson weren't learned?
I
Was
mean,
it what was the okay? Here we go. Was the altercation a valid one? Did I seem to have a reason behind why I was verbal? I
honestly,
don't
it,
remember what you're talking about. I don't.
I will say yes and no. Like,
Mhm.
honestly, I think it was one of those times where I was still growing up.
Mhm.
Like, it was like one of those times where I was transitioning from high school student to college student, and you were probably thinking more along the lines of, I want you to start thinking more about your future and how is this going to be affecting your future? How is this going to help you with your future? That's actually one of the things that you said to me while we were growing up.
Okay.
You, yeah, because I was still in the, I'm still a loner, somewhat a loner teenager. I don't want to like do a lot of outside stuff. Like, granted, I'll go out every now and then, hang out with my friends, but ultimately, if it came to my future, I wasn't really thinking about it too much. And I guess that was frustrating for you because, well,
Well, I know some of it because it was like when I'm at school, I was at school and I was able to motivate, and at home, well, I was not able to motivate because that's a little frustrating for a parent. So I know different people have different situations and different responses to parents and children, or as they relate. But like I said, I think because I don't remember the altercation. I think that probably what was going on with me in terms of I need to motivate this kid. How do I motivate the kid that's in my house? And effectively, like I'm able to motivate those that I'm with from 7:30 in the morning to 3:30. So I think that was a little bit of it. So what do you think is happening, or what do you are expecting from the relationship from this point on? You and I. Where do you think we're going?
I mean, we're going at a good pace. I mean, let's not rock the boat. Like, I'm not trying to force anything like some, oh, like Hallmark mother son like moment
Okay.
kind of thing.
Not the hallmark. We can't get the hallmark moment. Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm
Keep
just
talking.
saying, like, we're at a good spot. Like,
Yeah.
I actually call you mommy from time to time, and I haven't done that since I was really young.
Mhm.
Like, I actually come to you for advice. Like, when I was at my lowest, and that when I was like in some very dark spots, like, I actually called you because, well, you're my mom. And
I am.
honestly, like, before we actually had our turning point, I couldn't really do that.
Wow.
So yeah, we had like a whole, not like a 180, like a complete 180, like we're still getting
Mhm.
there. But at
Mhm.
the same time, like I think you can, I think anybody that knows us can see that our relationship has grown a whole lot better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
like
think so
you help,
too.
Like honestly, I'm not too afraid to ask you for help. Like I don't ask you for help like very often. Actually, it's seldomly really. But that's because, it's my life. I want to like take care of stuff that I need to take care of, but there are times when I don't think that I can do it. I know that you would actually help out. So, yeah. And I already told you before that I am glad that you're my mom. There are
Oh,
times,
thank you.
there are people that really can't say that don't really have moms. So especially moms that will help their child out like this. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And the feeling most definitely is mutual. Thank you so much. So hopefully everybody you got some nuggets from Tyler, myself, and the relationship. Like he said, we're still growing. We're still trying to mesh this thing out one day at a time, one step at a time. And I just give God glory for the turnaround or the 180 as he has said, like he said. So, but this has been another episode of Now You See Me. Thank you, son, for coming on. It wouldn't have been the first season without you. It would not have. So thank
Mm,
you, thank you. Kiss
no
my
problem,
baby
Mama.
for me. Kiss my baby for me.
Mwah. Grandbaby.
All right, everybody. You have a good week. But God bless. Someone called me a midwife. I think I'll keep that title because it is my goal to move people from stagnation to their destination. And in the process, we'll be removing hindrances, removing faulty foundations, things that have held you up for way too long. I invite you to go to my website, www.transparencyconsulting.com, and sign up for a free 15-minute consultation. Also available to you is the book, Out of Line, Repositioning Your Walk with God. I am looking forward to hearing from you. God bless.